We're in Ireland for round 6, and then it's the final round on Otterburn. In between all this, we're also bringing you the action from the final round of the British Historic Championship, the Bulldog Rally. Following on from the Mueller Rally, Bob Bowden had moved into the lead of the championship. But he was a little apprehensive about his chances here in Ireland due to the lack of power of his Group N Mitsubishi, compared to the likes of John Price's Metro and Steve Hendy's Group A Escort Cosworth. Tim Wilson had also made the trip across the water with his Impreza WRC.
We got a new car last year, we knew the car, the championship was stripped down last year, no Irish events, which are much more difficult, I find. So this is much more of a challenge, but I'm not really using it to challenge for the championship. I'm using it to learn the car and most importantly of all, learn the events.
Leading the crews away into the first stage was Eamon Boland, his car restored to its former glory in only a week since it sustained damage on the Ulster Rally. The Wexford man instantly setting the pace for all the others to follow. Second quickest in his Escort Cosworth was Steve Hendy, but he was already 23 seconds behind the leader. Surprising many by his early speed in the Group N Mitsubishi was Bob Bowden, as he set the third fastest time overall. Taken somewhat by surprise, John and Caroline Price only managed to set the sixth fastest time on the opening stage. But they soon upped the pace on the next 3 stages to head into the first service fourth overall. The Renault Clio of Royston Carey made a superb start to the event, beating the Impreza of Tim Wilson on stages 1, 2 and 3. But then on stage 4 it all went wrong as the Kent driver rolled out of the event. Tim Wilson admitted he was taking it easy as he settled into the stages. He was a lowly 17th after stage 4. Back in service, Steve Hendy seemed pleased so far.
So far, not too bad. I think we're second. The main thing is that we're in front of Bob Bowden and Tim Wilson, I believe, which is our direct competition for points.
Whilst Boland had won every stage bar one, Bob Bowden was pleased with his performance, the car running faultlessly throughout the day. And he'd end day one not only leading Group N, but also third overall. The 6R4 of John Price was struggling to match the pace at the head of the field, and despite several changes to the car's setup, he was 2 minutes 16 seconds down on the leader at the end of the day. Slowly improving stage by stage, Tim Wilson was creeping up the leaderboard, but he was nearly 3 minutes down on his nearest championship rival, Steve Hendy. Hendy ending the day a minute and a half down on Boland. Rounding out the top 5 was Irishman Tim Ball in his immaculate Darien T90. Ball not registered for the Tarmacadam series. The Peugeot of John Paul Ruth will definitely learn from this mistake. The spectators were quick to lend a hand, ensuring the following competitors could pass safely. And there was certainly a large number of spectators, all out to see some great action. Day 2, and as the weather looked set to change, tyre choice was awkward. But the rain held off as the first crews entered the stages. Boland was pulling away to extend his lead at the front, but that didn't worry Steve Hendy. As long as he retained his second overall, he'd take maximum championship points. Likewise, Bob Bowden was in a comfortable place, and whilst he'd have preferred to be ahead of the escort driver, 22 points for second in class would see him retain the championship lead. But he'd now have to keep an eye on his mirrors as Price was on a charge. Paul Harwood and Bob Jones were enjoying a steady run in their Renault Clio as they headed home second in their class to move into fourth place overall in the championship, whilst Terry Rook and Carl Sorensen would bring their Suzuki home once again in the points. And with 6 maximum scores and only 5 to count, they're now unbeatable in Class N1. Back at the top, the places would remain unchanged, Boland taking the event win by nearly 3 minutes. John Price was eventually overhauled by the Darien of Tim Bull, but his 5th place overall and his class win ensured maximum points in the Clubman's League. Bob Bowden finished 3rd overall to maintain his championship lead, but the dropped score system could see him lose out to the 2nd placed Steve Hendy, who takes his 4th maximum score here in Ireland.